This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So apparently Donald Trump is on some kind of a comeback tour because he's showing up in the media a lot, making a lot of statements, trying to circumvent the normal way that former presidents behave when they leave office, which is to keep their mouths shut and let the new guy take over. Let the new guy run the show. That's not in Donald Trump, though. He wants to gum up the works. He wants to talk about creating new social media platforms. He wants to continue the racism, the misogyny, the xenophobia that he's been famous for years. And he just got done with a bananas interview on Fox News where Harris Faulkner teed up softballs for him the entire interview, allowing him to just ramble on in a racist tirade. We're going to start with clip number 1 here. We're going to watch these together. This is him really playing the hits, going back to the greatest hits, to back in June of 2015 when he announced his candidacy, demonizing immigrants, of course.
Bringing the violence to our country, because many of the people coming are not non-violent people. They're violent people. Many of the people coming. These countries don't send out their finest, and in some cases, I'm sure you have wonderful, fine people, but you also have criminals, you have murderers, you have sex traffickers, you have a lot of very bad people coming into our country.
And there you have it. It's the same line that Mexico's not sending their best, they're rapists. But I assume some are good people. For how long does the Republican Party think this narrative is going to work? Doubling down on xenophobia, tripling down on racism, quadrupling down on fear-mongering. Your average American isn't afraid of people seeking a better life. The average American, I think, understands that we do have a bountiful country, that it is appealing to people who have nothing to come here and make a better life for themselves and for their kids. I hope that the average American understands that the crime rates of immigrant populations in the United States the crime rates of native-born Americans far exceed those of immigrant populations for first and second generations. It's not until like the third generation do they act in a criminal manner commensurate with native-born American citizen populations. So I don't know what Donald Trump's trying to do here. I don't know what the Republican Party thinks, that this is a winning strategy into the future as a long-term bet. But it's not going to work. And Fox News is giving it voice. Here's the next insane moment where Harris Faulkner is reporting in real time, telling Donald Trump that the current Department of Homeland Security secretary has resigned. It didn't happen. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. And she's reporting it as though it just did.
This, because it's just happened now, and I want to double check this with our producers. The DHS Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, has resigned, Mr. President.
Well, I'm not surprised. Good. That's a big victory for our country.
What? Hold on. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me listen to my team one more time. Forgive me. Forgive me. That has not happened. But and I apologize, listening to the team and you.
Cross off
but
that victory.
I know that you.
This just in, I'm not a journalist. Breaking news. I'm not a journalist. Yeah. That happened on Fox News just a few minutes ago. What is happening? There is no reason for them to have reported this lie without double checking it. See, there's a standard operating procedure around how journalists verify things before reporting publicly. That wasn't followed right there because they got Donald Trump on the line. So I spoke earlier about how former presidents normally comport themselves. And Harris Faulkner in this clip asks Donald Trump about, hey, listen, normal presidents in the past have kind of taken a back seat, so to speak. They spend their time usually busying themselves with charitable work, foundations and the like. That is not what Donald Trump did. Well, one, Donald Trump can't do that because he is barred legally from taking part in running a charity in the state of New York because he was misusing charitable funds that were supposed to be going to sick kids and such, veterans groups. He was using it to buy Tim Tebow gear and giant portraits of his stupid self. So he can't run a charity. So he has to be a bomb thrower, interjecting bile into the American experience still. So anyway, here's Faulkner, seriously, bananas.
Most presidents, ex-presidents like yourself, do not weigh in at this level. Why did you feel like you needed to on this issue?
Well, you called me. I didn't call you, in all fairness. But the reason I weigh in is very simple.
You wrote the statement last night. It was pretty strong.
I wrote a statement. I put out a statement. But
oh, my God. Well, you called me. Like, you don't want the attention, Donald Trump, because you don't have Twitter, you don't have Facebook, you have no way to communicate to the country now en masse, except for Fox News and Newsmax and One America News. You're not going on MSNBC or CNN. You called me. Like you weren't champing at the bit, you idiot, to be on Fox News and spread your viral racist filth, spewing it all over American airwaves. And then finally, there's this clip here talking about how China is laughing at us. That China, because of Dr. Seuss, is laughing at us as though the policy priority of the Biden administration and Democrats at large is to do away with Dr. Seuss. The only reason the Dr. Seuss thing, which is a non-issue, the only reason it's being talked about is because of idiot conservatives like Ted Cruz and little boy Ben Shapiro. The only reason it's even being talked about is because of Republicans and conservatives. Watch this.
Which nobody has ever seen before. In order to accomplish the Green New Deal nonsense, they're destroying it with woke. When China looks at woke and they see the biggest problem we have is Dr. Seuss, in the meantime, they're building factories and trying to kill us in so many different ways. They laugh at us. They think we're so... Frankly, they think our country is stupid when they look at this, when our competitors look at what's going on in our country, taking down the statues to great heroes and so many other things. Now, I do it because I want to do what's right, and they are destroying our country.
All right. Well, listen, there's several things there. I had to write them down in rapid fire. Donald Trump is obsessed with who's laughing at us. Donald Trump is so insecure about himself, he can't handle that people may think ill of him or laugh at him, because he is a goddamn joke. He's not a normal adult with a healthy sense of who he is. And then I'm all over the map here, but he's also referring to statues being taken down, statues of our great heroes. He's talking about Confederate generals, traitors to the United States of America, calling them great heroes. And he begins it talking about the Green New Deal, that Biden's trying to get the Green New Deal through. Biden has said very flatly that his climate plan, his policy proposals, are not the Green New Deal. He didn't sign on in support of the Green New Deal. Much to his discredit, he did not. So this is just a lie to try to whip people into a frenzy in some fear of actually taking care of a legitimate existential threat to the planet. Climate change. And then Donald Trump is saying that China is laughing at us because our biggest problem is woke Dr. Seuss. That is not our biggest problem, Donald Trump. You bloated dipshit. It is not even a problem. And for those of you who don't know, no one called for Dr. Seuss to be banned. No one is burning Dr. Seuss books. No one is even boycotting Dr. Seuss. The estate, the company that runs the Dr. Seuss estate, independent of anybody, said, hey, we're going to stop publishing like these 5 or 6 titles because they contain all kinds of racist imagery of Africans or people of African descent and Asians. So, you know what? Listen, we know that this is not appropriate. We're not going to publish these books anymore. They made the decision. It wasn't woke mob with fiery pitchforks. Anyway, nonsense. Am I right? I'd love to know what you think. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can always email me, daily@dollemore.com. I would appreciate you considering supporting my work. It's not quite this fiery all the time, but this just happened and I had to talk about it. So I would love to have you support my work here on YouTube for as little as $2 a month, $1.99 a month. You can help support independent analysis and commentary on the news, sometimes screaming a little bit, most of the time more metered and thoughtful, we'll say. The other way you can support my work is by buying some dumb merch. I recently challenged Tucker Carlson to a charity boxing match that is, in all likelihood, not going to happen. But somebody suggested I make t-shirts about it, and I did. And people are enjoying them. So you can buy those at the Teespring store. Go to dollemore.info. Anyway, follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. I love you guys. Thanks for every moment that you spend with me. Most days, I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine and take care of one another.